Hello and welcome to Destiny Force Live, a show designed for faith-based entrepreneurs that are ready to fulfill their destiny in business. And that business can look like you working to rise up to the top in corporate America or in a small business. It could mean running your own business. It could also mean running your own ministry. Because what I've learned about work, whether you do it inside of the four walls of the church or outside of the four walls of the church, it's all ministry. In fact, when you study the meaning of the word work or ministry, it means to serve. And in order to be successful as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a manager, or as a leader, we must first of all be servants of others, servant leaders. This is what Jesus demonstrated so well. So I want to talk to you about 3 tips to sell naturally. 3 tips to sell naturally. First of all, a commercial. If you have not yet received your complimentary coaching call with moi, and you would like to talk with someone about your goals, or maybe you feel stuck, or maybe you have questions about what marketing strategy to execute, maybe you're just starting business, or maybe you're a seasoned entrepreneur. It really doesn't matter. I want to extend the invitation to sign up today to get your introductory coaching call with me. You can call it a strategy session. You can call it a breakthrough session. It's really whatever's top of mind for you. So if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the link there to get on my calendar. And let's talk about what's top of mind for you. I would enjoy the opportunity to learn more about what you do, what products or services you want to bring to the marketplace or that you're already offering, and see if you're stuck, how I can help you get unstuck, or if you're interested in anything along those lines. I believe I can help you. I've helped hundreds and even thousands of people to move forward in business, to move forward in life, because I believe that every business problem at core is really sometimes a personal growth problem. It's a personal problem or a life problem, because business is life. Okay, so let's kick it off with our theme music and go ahead and share out the live to any other entrepreneurs or men or women of God that you feel would profit by what I'm going to talk to you about tonight, which is how to sell. It's something I do very well. Welcome to Destiny Force Mentoring Live. Go! Get ready. All right. You like my theme music? From Epidemic Sound, not copyrighted. Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk to you about selling. 3 tips for selling naturally. What do you mean by naturally, Coach KG? Based on your temperament, based on your personality, based on your comfort level. If you are an extrovert like me, and I love speaking and being around people, there are certain marketing strategies that you will naturally gravitate towards. If you are an introvert, you draw your energy really being away from people. You can only take so much of being around people. Speaking and doing something like what I'm doing may not come naturally to you. However, it is a skill So skills can be what? Learned. Skills can be learned. Okay. I have been in the industry of sales, well, really since college. So I'm not even going to say how many years that is. Probably over 40 years. As an occupation, I have been in sales over between 25 and over 30 years. Many times I'll just say 25. So I know what it takes to sell and to know how to persevere, to overcome rejection. What is your feel about sales? Do you feel it's yucky? Some people don't like sales. They think it's pushy, it's sleazy, it's uncomfortable for them. I call sales teaching or selling, teaching with a deadline. Selling is teaching with a deadline, or training with a deadline, or informing and empowering others with a deadline. And sales is the transference also of enthusiasm, the enthusiasm that you have about a product, about a service, even about a ministry. If you look at sales as the transference of enthusiasm, when you look at the gifts, I'm switching gears here to drive a point home about sales being a very natural thing for those who are wired to do it. And if you don't believe that you are wired to be a good salesperson, and that's something that's been stopping you from up leveling your game on your job, or in your business or in your ministry, I'm glad that you dropped by, because I can help you to overcome that obstacle. Why? Because like any skill, selling can be learned. I'm going to say it again. Like any skill, selling can be learned. Okay. Let's take selling online. Well, let me give you these tips first, because I did say 3 tips. So the first tip to sell naturally is get ready. Pray. Pray and ask the Lord for the strategy to sell, to present whatever it is that you are passionate about. Ask the Lord, always ask the Lord for guidance, for wisdom, for the strategies. That is always my go-to weapon. Okay? Because He knows everything. So pray about, or talk to God about what you want to sell, what the benefits of it as He sees it. Yeah, prayer is communicating with God. It's a two-way communication. And then execute. Write down what He says and get ready to execute it. The next tip is research. You have to research your customer, your ideal client. You have to research the competition, who's selling, what you're selling, to learn the strengths of their product compared to what you have to sell. You have to research what you want to bring to the marketplace, or the products or services that you represent, and what is the claim to fame about that product or service. What is your differentiator? What makes your product the best, or different, or unique? And that has to flow out of you naturally. Okay? So research. The first tip for selling naturally. Now, I deal primarily with faith-based entrepreneurs and leaders, so they will understand when I say prayer what I mean. We go to God in prayer to ask Him for strategies, and then we execute those. Or any other problem we're having in the area of business or selling or life. Then we research. Tip number 2 to selling naturally, you do your research, your online research. That research can extend to having informational interviews with prospective customers or businesses that are selling a similar product, or with those who you think may be your ideal clients. Do informational interviews. Doing an informational interview is a very easy way to identify prospects once you develop that product or service, because the purpose of the informational interview, there could be many different purposes. When I was job hunting, I wanted to work at a particular company, I would set up an informational interview with a manager in that company. My purpose was twofold. Number one, to introduce myself. Number two, to learn about the business, to learn their goals, to learn how they do things, to get a feel for the company. And there was another reason, to network and start building a relationship with someone inside that could help me become an insider or to get a job at that place. So with informational interviews, and I'm putting this under number two, do your research. You will reach out to someone who you would like to be the type of customer that you would serve. And you would simply say something like this. You could direct message them. You could email them. If you meet them out and about, you can talk to them face to face. And it might sound something like this. Let's say you wanted to sell coaching and you wanted to sell to faith-based millennials. So your talk track or the conversation might sound like this. Hi, I am Karen Gardner of Rocket to Freedom Coaching and Training, and I am starting up a new program, and I would like to get your feedback. The program is to help millennials to clarify their purpose and also to help them to start up their businesses and deal with the negative thinking that will inevitably try to get in their way. Do you have time on whatever the day of the week is? Let's say, do you have time on Tuesday? Now you may be emailing this, or Tuesday at 10 a.m. or Wednesday at noon, or maybe not lunchtime, or Wednesday at 2 p.m. for 15 minutes, that I could ask you a couple of questions about my program and get your take on what I'm trying to do. Your feedback is very important to me. So informational interviews. So if you are trying to sell coaching or a service, which is an intangible, you have to be able to understand why somebody would want your product. And one way to do that is by doing informational interviews. Maybe you do 5 to 10 or even up to 20, depending on the cost of the program. If it's a high-end program, meaning it's a 5K, 3K, or higher program, then you may want to do more informational interviews. Okay. Now, tip number 3 for selling naturally. This is just coming straight up, spontaneously. Know yourself. Know yourself. There are many, many different ways to sell online and offline. I'm going to name a few. There's networking, and now we do networking virtually through attending online conferences and masterminds and different events online. And you can do the same thing, of course, at live events in person. So networking. There is public speaking or speaking, which is the fastest way to build credibility and to attract prospects to you. Okay, is public speaking. It's the fastest way. And you can do that like how I'm doing it now, on a live, through Clubhouse, through podcasting, through pro bono speaking at a luncheon or for an association, conference, being a conference speaker. So there's many ways to utilize the marketing strategy of public speaking to sell yourself. This is like the preliminary level of selling where people get to see you in action, because people do business with those they what? Know, like, and trust. So public speaking is the fastest way to create that credibility and visibility. Another way to market and sell is advertising, paid advertising, but stay with the organic methods first, like doing posts on social media. So social media posting is another way to sell naturally, because some of us don't want to be on a Facebook Live. However, our comfort zone is in the area of disseminating information without being seen. One way to do that is through social media posting. You just want to be consistent. You want to make sure the posts deal with solving problems that the customers and clients or your ideal clients will need. And again, you having that conversation with them to find out what they need, if you don't already know, is one way to do it. That takes you back to the informational interview, which can be done by phone as well as via Zoom, as well as by emailing the questions to someone. So whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, all of us have the ability to learn the skill of selling. All right, so I gave you 3 or 4 strategies and some tactics along the way. Know yourself. Don't try to use a marketing strategy that does not come naturally to you. Start where you are most comfortable, because the more comfortable you are with the methods or the strategies that you use to market, that comfort that you feel is going to be communicated to the people that you're trying to reach. You don't want to be trying to do public speaking if you are not comfortable doing that. Now you can learn it, and then as you get more comfortable, implement it. Okay? Another tip to sell naturally. To sell naturally, you ready? Practice, practice, practice. When you see a top-notch person, whether that's a speaker or a salesperson or a pastor or a teacher or an athlete, they are where they are because they spend time practicing. They spend more time practicing where they are not seen, so that when they are seen performing, it flows almost effortlessly. The difference between an amateur seller and a professional seller is that the professional seller has practiced it over and over and over again and done it so much that it seems easy. They make it look easy. But in the beginning, like with anything new, it's more challenging. That's normal when you're learning a new skill. So don't be afraid of the rejection that comes from selling. I'll give you some tips on that too. I might be giving you too many tips at one time. I have a tendency of overfeeding my clients, but I do want to over-deliver and bring you lots of value. Go back and listen to this. So you want to practice. You want to practice what you're going to say. You want to script out your call. Let's say you're having you giving your first speech at an association. This is a way that you're marketing yourself. You want to make sure that you have worked with a speech coach or someone who's good at speaking. And I recommend that every entrepreneur be in a club like Toastmasters, where you learn how to do public speaking the right way, or the National Speaker Association, if you really want to take it even to another level. Okay, there's many different ways to learn how to speak so that you sell more effectively. Because in order to sell, you have to communicate. Again, you can communicate via writing or emailing or blogging podcasting where you're not seen, even doing webinars where you just show the slides and they hear your voice. So if you're one who your comfort level is, I want to be behind the scenes when I deliver this information, that's fine. That's what I mean about selling naturally. I'm the opposite. I like to be on stage, out front, be seen. That's the way I'm wired. Okay. I'm a teacher by motivational gifting. All right. So you want to practice. And I want to say excellent practice makes perfect. Excellent practice. Why? I'm not saying perfect practice. Why? Because I don't believe because sometimes perfect, when you say perfect, you can put pressure on people because some of us are struggling with resisting perfectionism. So the word perfect can trigger us. So excellent practice, consistent practice causes you to be excellent at what you do. Here's one of my sayings. Excellent practice breeds competence. I used to say perfect practice breeds competence. And competence breeds confidence. Confidence is that feeling that I can do it. No matter what anybody says, I know I can do it. Confidence comes from inside. Confidence really deals with how you see yourself. And so because I coach faith-based entrepreneurs and leaders and managers, our identity is rooted in how and what God says about us. So if you struggle with identity, then the best way to get a new mindset, get your mind renewed, is to go to the Bible and study scriptures about sonship and identity and how God sees you and how much he loves you. Now, let me go back to these practical tips. So the last tip I want to share is you have prayed, because I believe that for faith-based entrepreneurs, we get downloads from the throne of God in our hearts. And those are strategies that God's hand is on. They work. Our job is to learn how to execute faster, execute early and often. And so resisting the perfectionism, resisting the procrastination, and just doing what God has revealed to you, not trying to figure it out, time when the nickel's going to drop through the chute and you're going to make all this money. The money will come as you keep focused on executing or implementing the strategies that you have been given. And on this note, if you're a visionary versus an integrator, what's the difference? And a visionary is someone who we create ideas. They flow to us and through us and out of us like water. And for this reason, we have a challenge sometimes focusing on doing one thing and finishing it, or investing in one program and resisting investing in another, so that you've invested in 3 coaching programs at the same time, and there is no way that you can do all those well. Now, you can go back if you want to use it as reference material, or you're building your library, because that's something that I do. I have a really extensive library of training programs that I've invested in. So if that's your investment strategy, you want it for later, that's fine. However, if you're a visionary, you may feel like you're ADD and that you're unfocused. That's a part of being a visionary. And the way that you put blinders on, that's where your goals come in. You visit those goals in the morning and at night, and those goals will help keep you on track. But if you don't keep those goals in front of you, and then you're out and about online and you see this coach teaching this and this coach teaching that and this trainer and this and that, and you're like, right? Go back to your goals and go back. That's where the prayer comes in. Do the first thing God told you to do. Finish it, no matter how long it takes, because you cannot do 2 and 3 things well at the same time. You just can't. Also, to know what you should focus on, it will correlate with where you have the highest degree of gifting. So if you are great at writing, then produce that product, that book, that ebook, that digital journal, whatever it is, or that physical journal that people can write in. Focus on creating that first. Focus on the production so that you can have a stream, things to sell while you're still building your business. If you can create a product, a low-end product, an ebook or something like that, then you'll have something that you can offer as a free gift or offer to sell so that you can create what I call a passive stream of income. Then as you write that book or you create that audio training or whatever it is that God lays upon your heart. And if you get stuck, that's where Coach KG comes in. Take advantage. This is my commercial. Take advantage of the free introductory coaching call. So you see the link right there that's at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead or direct message me and I'll post my calendar link and you can schedule an appointment with me. I'd be glad to give you some free advice. Okay, some free coaching. I like doing that. All right, so so execute this last tip for selling naturally. You got to do it. You got to do it. Nothing happens unless a sale is made. Listen, in businesses, in ministries, in corporations, in committee meetings, if we never present the idea for buy-in, for people to accept it, if we never go out to apply for the job, because everything is selling. Job hunting is you selling yourself. Even in ministry, and don't take this the wrong way. In ministry, when evangelists, they are known as God's sales team. Their gift, because they evangelize and preach about the word of God and salvation won't even come forth if not for us evangelizing. Now, we're all called to evangelize, but the evangelist has a greater degree of gifting. That's why an evangelist can come up and do an altar call and people get saved again. Well, they don't get saved again, but they'll come up again, because once you're saved, you're always saved. You'll recommit if you backslid, and that's what happens if you come up again. Or you're just recommitting your life to the Lord. But that's the gift of the evangelist. So they're the sales people in the body of Christ. They can get somebody into the kingdom because that's the gift that's on their life. All right. So here are the tips that I shared with you. And I actually shared some marketing strategies. So you'll have to go back and really listen to this. And while you're listening, ask the Holy Spirit to show you, to highlight what he wants you to take away and implement. So I said the first tip for selling naturally is prayer. Prayer with your Father. He's the CEO of your business, of your ministry. He's the leader of your marriage, your family. He's the leader on your job. He's the real boss that we all answer to, right? So pray and ask him about any struggles you're having. Ask him how to sell. Ask him to give you what to say. He will think through your mind and word your mouth. Right? Make sure you capture it in your journal. The other tip I said was do your research. Do your research on who you want to serve, the type of customers you want to serve. What kind of magazines do they read? What kind of food do they eat? Now, this you learn as you continue to develop your products and learn about your ideal clients. You don't get all of this the first time you work on identifying your ideal client. Listen, business and entrepreneurialism is experimental. That means we are trying what we believe will work, and we're testing and tweaking at the same time. So you'll never get the perfect ideal client on paper. You just won't. What will happen is, or what you want to do is you want to clarify enough about your ideal client so that you can get started presenting your service. And then it's your ideal clients, the ones that you meet, the prospects that will tell you what they need, that will then enable you to tweak what you offer. Ask me how I know this, because for probably, it seems like for 3 years, I worked on perfecting my ideal client, until I got an aha. Wait a minute. Your ideal client is always evolving and changing. In fact, if you have a service that you offer, like coaching, and then you have training that you offer, and then maybe you have a membership site, or maybe you have, like I'm in ministry. So my ideal client for my ministry is different than my ideal client for Rocket to Freedom Consulting, where I provide coaching, training, speaking services, and consult. And I think I said them all. Public speaking. It's different. And then what if I create a specific product, like an app, say a Bible app, right, for reading the Bible through in a year? So that app, my client for that app might, when I drill it down, might be a Bible teacher, might be a minister, might be a woman or man of God that really has a teaching gift on their life, or someone that's just head over heels in love with the Word of God and with Jesus. Okay, with that, so my ideal client, your ideal client fits or changes based sometimes on the products and services that you're creating. So that's why I'm saying you will never get, like, it's not like etched in stone. No, it's fluid. And I didn't understand this at first. Okay. That's the marketing side of building your business that I'm talking about. And marketing, what is marketing? Marketing is telling people, sharing with people what services or products you provide to help them to solve a problem that they may be facing. And you're speaking to those who your product or service can help. Okay, that's the ideal client or the avatar. So don't spend a lot of time. Get that ideal client clarified. Oh, I need to stop. I am so over my time. Clarify that ideal client enough so that you can begin to move next to creating your free offer or your lead magnet, okay? So that they can join your email list. Simplify it. And then find 1 to 2 marketing strategies to help you to sell. For instance, you can tell what one of my marketing strategies is speaking. And I do lives. I love live streaming, whether on YouTube, here. I'm going to move into podcasting, anywhere where I'm speaking and communicating. And Clubhouse. So the speaking. Maybe your marketing strategy is you love writing. And so blogging you like blogging, you like doing email marketing, staying in touch and nurturing your folks over email just excites you. And then you love writing social media posts that are inspirational. You like posting those pithy, powerful sayings that just cause your ideal client to like that post. Okay. And then you may like doing a quarterly magazine, or a physical written newsletter that you mail out. Let's not forget about other ways to market that are offline as well. People are not mailing letters like they used to. Do you know one of the easiest ways to market is to send a direct mail campaign, because nobody's hardly doing them anymore? So your direct mail piece can be read. It's not competing with a stack of mail. So, no, but that depends on your target market. If you have an older target market, baby boomers, then mail is still in. Oh yeah. In fact, mail is a good way to get an appointment with somebody that you've been trying to get an appointment with. Just a handwritten letter. I mean, address by hand with a stamp. And inside you have a letter. Hi, my name is Karen Gardner. I have been following you online and I like what your business stands for. I work with entrepreneurs in your area, and I noticed on your website that you guys recently won an award for whatever it is. You're doing your research on your ideal client. Now that's business to business selling, but it could also be an individual that you follow. When someone takes the time to write a letter, that shows you care. That shows you're different. That gets somebody's attention. I know I read handwritten letters. In fact, that's the first piece I'll open up. All right, I'm going to stop here. So I hope the tips that I trust that what I've shared with you today has given you food for thought, that there are one or two strategies that you can use, that you've gained greater clarity about selling. Selling is a transference of feeling, of emotion, of excitement. And the best way to sell is to be fully convinced and into what you sell. I want to say in love, but I don't want to use the word love like that. But you want to be passionate, there we go, about what you have to sell. You have to know that you're coaching, that you're coaching to millennials, you're coaching to baby boomers, you're coaching to faith-based women is unlike anybody else's program, because, and that's where your secret sauce comes in. And your secret sauce is always gonna go connect with your breakthrough in your own personal life, or your feedback from others about how you have helped them. Testimonials. All right. We're going to continue this for the month of August. I'm going to be doing selling, how to sell naturally, and just about different aspects of selling. So if you have a topic, a question that you would like me to cover on the live that I do every Monday about selling, send me that question, send me that topic, send me that idea. Just direct message me or email me if you're on my email list, or just go to rockettofreedom.com. That's my business site, and send me an email. Hey, Coach KG, I know you're doing the selling stuff. Or if you want help with your selling, can I just go straight to the point? I'm a sales coach naturally because that's the industry I work in. So if anybody can help you overcome sales fear, the call reluctance, I don't want to pick up the phone, it makes me nervous, or all that stuff, you're looking at her. I'm a Fortune 500 award-winning sales performer. I've sold it all, from Mary Kay Cosmetics, winning the Grand Am, the diamond ring, wonderful prizes, to my best prize was a 9-day trip to Bora Bora with my husband, and it was wonderful. So I can teach you how to sell if you're willing to get on my calendar, and let's do it. This is Coach KG with Destiny Force Mentoring, helping you, the faith-based entrepreneur, to sell naturally, to market naturally, based on your style, your personality, your temperament, your experiences, so that you can fulfill your business destiny and serve those customers that are waiting for you. Come on, it's time to go. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye. Let's check. I'm going to check the wall to see if there are any comments. No, I don't see any. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Have a super duper rest of the week. Stay focused. Produce. You can do it. Bye-bye. I believe in you.